Welcome to In the Zone, your mental strength and endurance sports podcast with Thierry from Sports. And today we're going to talk about the Ironman World Championships in Nice. Hi everyone, so in today's video or podcast, however you listen to this, I will go through my experience at the Ironman World Championships in Nice. It's from driving down there, training there, going to the expo. It's just you're going to follow me through my journey. I hope you enjoyed it. I got a lot of positive feedback from the last one in Austria, so I hope you're going to enjoy it for this one for Nice, the Ironman World Championships. Thanks. Hi everyone, so this is it. I'm on my way to Nice. I've got about 6 or 7 hour drive. It's 10:20 now, about to leave and on the road. Plenty of time to think about the race. Looking forward to being in Nice. My number one fan. I have made it to Nice. Welcome. After 7 hours in the car, it's been a long journey, but I've made it. So I'm going to the Jack Kelly podcast now. It's going to be a lot of fun. I just barely made it. I think I've got 2 minutes to go. But yeah, it's going to be fun. Listening to some more triathlon talk ahead of the big day and meeting some old friends I haven't seen in a long time. So it'll be fun. See you in a bit.
If 2:29 marathon works.
So this job, with the Nice course, how does it differ from Kona in terms of both how you have to prepare and what you might expect to happen on race day?
Way more technical on the bike, and that's, I think, definitely one of the main parts of the bike course, and the bike course will definitely be longer. So you have to stay out there for, I guess, like half an hour more. And so the bike course is not only interesting in itself, but also as consequences for the run. Because I think the longer you're outside, the more impact you have for the run. And the better runner you are, the probably more the gap opens up to the, let's say, not as perfect runners, probably. And I see a big benefit in the length of the course, of the bike course. And I expect the gaps on the run to be a little bit wider than we normally expect.
John alluded to it, this course definitely offers a lot more technical aspects than Kona. I mean, with Kona, you're basically just out on the Queen K, and aerodynamics plays a huge part and a huge role. But this race, obviously, you've got a lot more technical aspect to it. And like what Bjorn was saying, a lot of these European-based athletes, they're very used to training camps in these kind of environments. Said that St. Moritz is a common training base for Patrick, and we've got athletes that are out in Lanzarote and places that and Indora and places that they're often quite technical training grounds, which I feel is obviously going to play a huge part for the European-based athletes at the very.
Oh well, so I finally made it to Nice. I'm in my apartment. It's really nice actually. The location is fantastic. The journey to get to Nice was horrible. I left home, close to Geneva, around 10:30 a.m. I thought it was going to take me about 6 hours, and it was just a lot longer than that. I ended up driving through Italy in Turin. Actually, it was a beautiful drive, but the tunnel from France to Italy was shut, so I had to take the small roads. Yeah, a bit of a faff, but luckily no traffic, just much longer than expected. And I arrived right on time to get to the live podcast organized by Jack Kelly. It's called the Triathlon Hour. I really recommend you subscribe and support that podcast. It's absolutely brilliant. and Jack is organizing a series of 3 live podcasts in at the triathlon store in Nice, and it was great, a lot of fun. Tonight's guests were Bjorn Giesman. He's the coach of Patrick Lange, who won the race a couple of times. There was also Luke McKenzie, who came second at the Ironman World Championships a few years ago, almost 10 years ago, maybe, a bit less maybe. And his wife, Beth McKenzie, and she was also a former professional triathlete, and they have both created a brand called Win Republic. So they're here, it's a clothing brand, so they're here advertising their products, which I've never tried, but I'm going to have a look at the expo tomorrow. It was a lot of fun, great to chat to Bjorn about coaching, about aerodynamics, about youth sports, lots of different things. And also Luke, actually, I was wearing my Abu Dhabi t-shirt, and he was there at the same time. It's like, oh, you raced that race? You raced it? I was like, yeah. So it's fun, you're talking to an ex-professional, and that's why I love triathlon, because you don't have many sports where, it's not like in football, I'm going to meet Mbappe and he's going to tell me, oh, you were playing that day at the, well, no, obviously not. And in triathlon, it's a close and small community, and that's what I love about it, because we share the course the same day as the athletes, and that's just brilliant. Of course, I'm going to miss out on all the action because I'm not going to see them. They're obviously going to be way ahead on Sunday compared to me, but because it's a lap course on the run, I'll be able to see them and just run a few yards with them. I'm obviously not going to interfere, but I'm going to watch how they race, how they run, and that's going to be really cool. Yeah, so it's great, and I actually met a friend, Seth, who's from Canada. We met in Roth, the Challenge Roth, 6 years ago with the I Am Talk triathlon camp. It's another podcast, I Am Talk, and they organized, John Newsom, the coach, and Bev and James Isles. They organized a training camp before Roth. That's actually, long story short, but this is what kind of changed my life. Went to that couple of weeks camp, and just on the way back, driving home, I said, I had enough of finance and trading. I just want to go into sports, and I want to do triathlon coaching. So 6 years ago, my life changed because of doing events like this, and it's an incredible journey to think 6 years later I'm at the World Championships. So it's incredible when you want to put your mind to something, when if you believe in yourself and you just want to have fun and do the things you love. It's crazy how far you can go. So just super grateful. Anyway, long story short, I met Seth from Canada at Roth. He as well did the Pyrenees camp, Epic Camp Pyrenees 2019, which was a big camp for me. And here he is. He qualified last year. And so we met at the live podcast show, and then we had dinner together, and it was just great to catch up. So it's cool to go to a race when you actually know someone. I had booked these live shows because I wanted to. I didn't know that he would be there, so I thought, okay, I'll just occupy myself going to these shows, meet some people there. But it's just great when you can go to a race when you have other people. This year for sure, loved it when I went with Danny to Austria, and last year with Danny and Mark in Hamburg. I just loved of course it's an individual sport, but when you can share those moments with other people, it means just so much more. And I think it's easier and probably better when you go with friends or, compared to family, because with family, I mean, I love my wife and I love my children, of course, but you do as well have to take care of them. And there's already so much pressure when you do an Ironman, when you race, that, you have to go to the expo, you have to go to the registration, you want to do a bike tour, you want to go. You're in such a bubble that you're probably not fun to be around. So it's frustrating for the family, and it's also frustrating for me because I need to do my stuff and they want to do something else. So, it was I left with a heavy heart, obviously, today, because it's always, of course, I don't mind going away for a few days, but it's just, it hits you harder when you realize, oh, I'm not going to see the kids for 4 or 5 days. I'm going to see my wife. And as I was hugging Connie on the way out, I thought, oh, but he should have come with me, and in the end, because it was a day off in Geneva today, and I thought, but I think it's as well good to have, I think, time off for a couple. Just I go and do the stuff I love, and I'm in my own bubble, and she supports me doing that, and I think it's good sometimes to have these little moments. But of course, when you have, I'm just really glad that Seth is here, and that I'm going to these live podcasts, because otherwise I think it would be quite a lonely experience. But it's the World Champs. There's a lot of people, and there's a big buzz in town. You can feel it. So I'm just super excited. And so in the end, long journey. I made it with 2 minutes spare to the live podcast. Gutted. I was so disappointed. I thought I was going to miss it. But in the end, I made it just in time. And that's it. Now it's almost 10 o'clock. I will go to bed and just finish my beer, actually. Alcohol-free beer. I really recommend those from Migros. They're very nice. And that's it. Plan for tomorrow is to go for a swim in the morning. I'm going to swim with Seth. So he's found a nice pool. So we're going to swim 7 o'clock in the morning. Breakfast, bike ride. Then probably go to do my registration, check the expo. Might go for a little run. And that's it. So usually a bigger training day for me on the Friday. And then really easy stuff on the Saturday. And that's it. So let's do it. We're in Nice. It's the World Champs. I'm really excited. All right. Good night. See you tomorrow. Good morning. We are in Nice, close to the swimming pool, going for a small training with Seth. I think I'm just going to do about 2K, just a small swim, open up the arm, and just warm up a little bit. Did a big breathing session this morning, Wim Hof method, love it. I went on for 3 minutes 15 seconds. That was actually my best, so feeling good. All right. So here we are, nice swim in Nice. The pool is absolutely beautiful. It's a 50-meter pool, just really nice. 2K. Didn't feel my best, but I felt okay actually, but it was a bit slow, probably because it's a 50-meter pool. But otherwise, yeah, now ready to have breakfast and crack on with my day. See you in a bit. So I've just did the first 20k, 25k of the course, and it's pretty tough. The first climb is really steep. There's some sections which are definitely above 10%. I think a lot of people will be surprised. So far, I'm really happy with the choice of taking the road bike, because it would just be atrocious on the TT bike. Roads are pretty quiet, so even to train, it's good fun. And road condition is just not great. So again, even when you have some downhills, the first flat sections, I wasn't comfortable enough to just really rely on the TT position, because it's just very bumpy. And so yeah, just really happy with the bike choice so far. Feeling good. It's really hot, and that's one thing, but okay, I will have the climb early in the morning, so at least that's an advantage. But yeah, it is quite hot, so the run will be hot later on. But yeah, it's going to be good fun, beautiful. I mean, oh, just I can't wait. I mean, I'm not going to see obviously the pro race, but those climbs will be great for the pros. It will separate them. You'll have pros everywhere. The same on the amateurs. Actually, it will be really interesting to see how spread out the field is. And no, it's beautiful, absolutely stunning. So now I'm just going to cut the corner because if I carry on, it's going to be too long for a training ride. I mean, I've done only 21 kilometers, and it took me close to an hour. So it's not very fast. So that's going to be mentally difficult because when you have a flat course, you tend to see the kilometers go by pretty quickly. And at some point I saw the marker on the climb, 10 miles. It's like, oh, what? It's only 10 miles. But yeah, so that's mentally tough when you've already done 2-3 hours and you're not even halfway. So that's going to be the challenge. Anyway, now I'm going to cut a little bit, go to this little town called Gatière and practice the downhill back to Nice and just easy pedal along the promenade. All right, see you later.
I just get to go home. So yes, he's always ready first for every workout, which pushes him, and maybe he's made me a better athlete because of it.
How are you feeling?
Pretty good. Yeah, it's easily the biggest win of my career for sure. Even just the back of the race, had all the big names, probably almost the biggest race of the year this sort of right now. So I'm close to it. You never know. I think this weekend is going to be difficult, but yeah, it's cool to be part of like such a hype and all the big athletes there. So yeah, it was definitely definitely on a high there. Yeah, obviously post race a couple of days. Yeah, I literally had like a small little bike to came off, didn't think much of it. Kept training, and yeah, it turned actually into a fracture of the hip. So yeah, we didn't realise we actually flew home just to get scanned, do a full scan at home. We were all that, so got a scan and yeah, fracture of the hip. So that's usually 2 months almost nothing on patches swimming. Yeah, and we got back into it, but yeah, it was just a racing song. We lost, I guess.
So,
Okay, so day 2 for me in Nice. What was I up to? This morning, as you saw just before, I went for a swim with Seth in this beautiful 50-meter pool. It was great, it was super quiet, not many people. At some point I was just on my own for a while. And I chose a different lane than Seth, and actually Seth was swimming with Sam Laidlow, a professional and just great swimmer, and apparently he was just putting some great speed in those lanes. So yeah, I wish I would have stayed in that same lane to experience swimming next to these guys, because it's just unbelievable. I can't keep up with him for 100 meters, and it's insane. So yeah, then we went back to get some breakfast, and then went for a bike ride. Just did the 20 kilometers up and then 20 kilometers back down. So the first 20 kilometers and the last 20 kilometers of the race. As you saw from the video earlier, I said already, it's a really tough climb, and I've only done a quarter of the total elevation today. So it's going to be a long day, and it's going to be really nice. I'm just so happy that I'm one of the first ones to go in the morning, so that I'll have normally not so hot weather on the climb. Um, and Yeah, just a great course. I think it's going to be really nice. Then what did I do? I was supposed to have lunch outside, but in the end I had lunch at home, something pretty easy. Then I had a meeting with Tim and Jeremy from Training Peaks. Really cool discussion. They invited me for a coffee or drink. I told them what Perrier Citron was, and they were really happy to find out a bit more about the French drinks. Um, and they just invited me to talk about my coaching business, my experience, how can they improve, how can... So it was a really nice exchange. Not sure what will come out of that meeting, but I mean, just always cool to meet these guys and a bit know what they're working in the background, and what would be useful for me to have and things like that. So yeah, just I love working with Training Peaks. It's a great tool. I think, I mean, if you're not on Training Peaks, and there's I don't understand how you can track your progress. So it's just a no-brainer to have a Training Peaks account, and it's free for athletes. As a coach, I have to pay, but for athletes, it's free. So it's just everyone should have a Training Peaks account. If you're listening to this podcast, sign up on Training Peaks. Then I went to register at the expo. So I'm officially got the wristband, and like probably everyone else at the expo, I spent a bit too much money. I just love to have these little souvenirs, so I get something for my girls. I bought these outrageous shirts. One is with a wolf, one is with a cheetah. My girls love these two animals. So anyway, who would wear that as an adult? Anyway, I don't know, but they'll be happy with that. I bought them an Ironman jumper. Yeah, maybe I'm trying to get them into loving the sport, but a bit of a bribing, I guess, method. But yeah, I think it's always nice. I remember as a kid when my father would travel, he would always bring something back. It used to be like just a CD or a football shirt from where he went. So got some really that for example, that's how I discovered Pearl Jam, because he traveled to London, asked a guy at the HMV store and said, "Okay, what's the latest really cool rock band?" And the guy picked his latest Pearl Jam album, and so that's how I know Pearl Jam, and it's one of my favorite bands. He also went to Angola once and brought me back the Angola football shirt. So really random stuff, but it's just I think as a kid I remember those things, and I always looked forward to seeing my dad. Of course, you like as the present, but I think it's you just associate these really cool memories with your dad or with your parents, yeah. So just trying to be doing the same. And I should probably get something for Connie as well, before I forget. That's on the list for tomorrow. Anyway, so the expo I bought. So there's a big chat about whether it's going to be a wetsuit or non-wetsuit, and obviously I forgot my dry skin. How do you call that? Dry skin suit, or skin suit. Sorry, skin suit. So basically in triathlon you can wear a wetsuit, but if the water's too hot you can't, because it's actually it's just too hot to swim. So it's about above 24.5, I think, and the water temperature today was 24. So there's a real chance that there won't be any wetsuit allowed, but you can wear these skin suits, and they're just really more advantages to use. And swimming is not my forte, definitely is my weakness, so I need any help I can get. Granted, it's salt water, it's in the Mediterranean, so it does help, but still, I then bought a skin suit, which was way too expensive, but hey, I'm gonna have it for a while now, so yeah, let's forget about that one. I've got it now. I bought a hat. I went to see again the store of Win Republic because I met Luke McKenzie last night. Luke McKenzie is just one of these athletes I always followed. Actually, when I started triathlon, he was just up there, and it's incredible when you meet these people and you just realize they're just normal people. And he remembered me, and we just had a little nice chat, and it remembered me from last night from the podcast, and that's what I love. Again, I said it yesterday about triathlon. I love to be close to the athletes, and they're just regular people, and I don't think you have that with sports that are like football or I don't know, tennis, whatever. They just seem too like in their bubble, whereas in triathlon it seems like it's just a sport with just normal people. Anyway, so when I bought a few things there, just a few things here and there. Anyway, also the low of the day was that I got a fine in the Nice public transport because I didn't tap the ticket. I loaded the ticket on my card, paid on the card, loaded the ticket, but I didn't realize you had to beep the ticket at the bus. So when the controller arrived, I proudly presented my card, but he just stopped me right there, and it was a €40 fine on the spot, and I was a bit gutted, but alright, it is what it is. You got to know the rules. Then in the evening, I went to the Triathlon Hour podcast. It was again a fantastic show. Tonight we had the star of the show was Maxine Newman. He's a professional triathlete, really a great guy. He's injured, unfortunately, but he can't race, but he's got a really bright future in the sport. We also had Sam Renouf, the CEO of the PTO, the Professional Triathlete Organization. I love this guy. I think he talks brilliantly. He's probably, for me, the most important man in triathlon at the moment, because the future of the sport, I think, is in his hands, and what they're trying to do with the PTO is just great. So, I also met after the show. He wasn't part of the panel, but there was also Torsten Rade, who's the guy behind Try Rating. He's just he's a German guy who does all the statistics around triathlon. It's great event. And then I thought I had planned to go for a little run, and it was just too hot in the middle of the day, so I thought, maybe I'll do it later, and I just thought, come on, let's go. So I went for a small run, 6K run, nothing crazy. Temperature was really lovely. Maybe it was a bit late to go for a run, I debated, but feel good now, and legs are fine, so just gonna go and do a bit of the compression on the legs using the I don't even know what it's called again, the Normatec boots with the legs. Chill a little bit, listen to a podcast or something, read a book, and just recover and hopefully sleep very, very well. All right, good night, see you tomorrow.
race that is fair and how we manage a race that is safe. Um, and so as soon as the Lati situation emerged, it became clear to us that this was going to be front and center for all our professional athletes. How do they race, particularly on a very fast, very narrow, very windy stretch of road?
Nico, obviously the Ironman 70.3 world champion. Nico, how old are you?
22.
Yeah, do you know you're the youngest champion of the Ironman World 70.3 World Championships ever?
Yeah, it's me.
It's pretty amazing, mate. Leading into the race, did you have any idea that you were a chance to win?
No, the dream was to come into the top 5, but winning is just unbelievable. Yeah.
And so during the race, when did you first get a sense that, hey, this might actually happen?
Yeah, after a tough bike, and then I started to run, and I had mostly fresh legs, and I was very surprised that it goes so well. And then, yeah, after 3K, I could pass Fredrik Funk and Matisse Martin, so yeah, I go all in. And after one loop, so I had a 1 minute gap, and I thought, yeah, I could win this.
Here we are. It's the night before the event, so it's day 3 of my trip. Tomorrow I've got the race, and the Saturday before the race is always my least favorite day, because you really start to feel the pressure of the event, and there's a lot of things to do. There's the bike check-in. You want to still get a little bit of training done just to get the feel for the water, for example. And yeah, so it's not my favorite day. I'm starting to be a little bit nervous. Now it's almost time to go to bed. It's 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. So I'm hoping by 9 I'm fast asleep, because wake up time tomorrow is 4 o'clock in the morning. So that'll roughly give me my 7 hours of sleep, which is the usual amount of sleep that I get. So today I went for a little run in the morning. I wanted to check out the sunlight basically for the morning, which goggles I'm gonna take. So I just wanted to check how the sunlight is, and actually it's not too bad. So I don't like wearing dark ones, so I'm gonna wear my normal quite see-through ones. It was a nice swim, a bit choppy. I tested it was a nice run to start with, just 5k. Then went back, had breakfast, and then went for a swim to try to test the water. The water was a bit choppy, but it was nice. I wore my new skin suit because I'm not sure if tomorrow will be allowed the wetsuit, so that will be a last minute decision, because the current water temperature is 24, and I think 24.5 is the cutoff. So we'll see. It is what it is. It's the same for everyone. So even if I have a slower time on the swim, that's it. You know, it's only going to be a few minutes slower, but it is what it is. Then I had lunch at a little cafe nearby, which is really nice. And then I basically went to see the guys at Precision Fuel and Hydration. That's the current fuel that I use, mostly for gels. I really like their product, so I've been using that for the last year, and it works really well. I then went to registration, so checking the bike, the run bag, the bike bag. And it's funny because every Ironman, it seems, has a different thing. On this one, for example, you cannot access your bags before the race, so once you check in, it's done. Usually you're allowed to do that. At other races, it's the first time I'm not allowed to do that. Well, in a way, it's less complicated on race day. And then so I had to find your position and for check-in, all that, and it was it's all good. Saw a couple of pros as well, which is good fun. Then went back home, had a bit of food, and then went to another live podcast, the live show by Jack Kelly, the Triathlon Hour. And this was with Andrew Messick, the CEO of Ironman, and also the Rico Bogan, the 70.3 world champion, was crowned a couple of weeks ago in Finland. So it was a great show. Really enjoyed it. Andrew Messick answered some tough questions, but it was Anyway, So for tomorrow, we'll we'll see what happens. I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous about the swim. That's always the one I'm a bit nervous about. I think once I'm on the bike, I feel much better. And it's going to be just a beautiful bike ride, so I'm not going to go too hard. I think I want to enjoy this race. I want to soak up the atmosphere, and I want to have just a normal run. I don't want to suffer on the run, so I'm not going for a particularly fast time. I'm just going to enjoy being at the Ironman World Championship. And I don't want to get too focused about. Of course, I have to concentrate on my race, but I don't want to miss out on things to watch and see high-fiving people or just watching a pro go by because I'm too focused on my race. I just want to enjoy it, and I'm not there for time. I'm here to enjoy the experience. So the goal is just to finish the race with enjoyment. So that's my goal for tomorrow. I know this might sound a little bit that's not a big thing, but you have to as well always remember what sort of training you've done before and what sort of shape you're in. And I think I'm in decent shape, but not in my best shape. So I just want to enjoy it and not to put any pressure on myself. There's things that are way more important at this minute for me. So this is just about enjoying the race and having fun doing the sport that I love doing. So voila. Tomorrow's start time is at 7 o'clock. So I'll wake up at 4, hopefully leave by 4:45, 5 o'clock. Go to the bike, pump up the tires, and then put on the wetsuit and go for a swim, a bike, and a run. It's as simple as that. And yeah, so thanks for your support, and I'll try to get some footage tomorrow, but it's highly unlikely. So you'll probably hear me after the race. Thank you. Bye bye. Here we are. It's race morning. Just had my breakfast. It's 4:45. Put some sunscreen on. I got my gear ready and ready to go. So a little bit nervous, but I did my Wim Hof breathing method, 3 rounds. Just had 3 espressos to get going as well. No, I'm looking forward to it. But it's slightly nervous. Just excited. I think it feels bigger than an Ironman, so hopefully that will make the next ones less nervous. Right, okay, so all the best for myself and for all the other competitors today. See you in a bit. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. The noise might be, don't hear me at all, but yeah, it was a tough day, really tough day. And I know my day. So you don't always have good days, but I did it, I finished it, and it was a beautiful course. Atmosphere was amazing, so it's done. So thank you all for your support. Hi everyone, so that's it. It's a wrap for this episode and my Ironman World Championships in Nice, France. Overall, it's been a great experience. I've had a little bit of time to reflect on what went wrong, what went well, and yeah, I always knew it was going to be a tough day because I didn't have the time to train over the summer. I didn't probably take it as seriously as I should have. So I knew that I would have a tough day. I felt in good shape, but I just didn't really do the right training. But you know, I just wanted to go. Like I said previously, I wanted to experience the World Championships. I wanted to go there to feel the race, and that was a success. So I had a fantastic time, and I don't regret anything. It's been amazing. So looking back, swim, yeah, poor swim. But I mean, a good first half, and then the second half, I got caught into a bad group, and it was a bit of a washing machine. I lost a bit of mojo there. On the bike, I mean, I'm sure I could have ridden a half an hour faster on a normal day. So on a good day, it would have been even better. If I compare the power average, it's actually not so bad compared to other times I've done. So if I compare my time in Hamburg when I rode 452, obviously with 0 meter elevation, I had an average about 210 watts, and this one was 196. So you know there's a 14 watts difference, but an hour 40 difference in time. So it's yeah, it's completely different course. And the run, I just had no juice, so it's you know I struggled for sure, but it is what it is. And I had injured myself just after the holidays, so my calf, not the calf, the Achilles heel was giving me a bit of grief, so I couldn't run. I think my longest run since the Ironman in Austria had been a 20k, 22k run just a weekend before. So yeah, it was always going to be tight. And anyway, played with fire, got caught, and deserved the race I did. So overall, like I said, super happy with the experience. Obviously not the race, but the experience, and I'll do it again. If you have the chance to qualify for any event, you should just go for it. For a world championship, I mean, you have to go. What can I improve? A lot of things. I think my overall diet, fueling strategy, that was fine. I didn't have any, so I was pretty happy with that. The mental preparation as well, that was pretty good. Despite the fact that I suffered a lot and I was not on a good day, I kept on going. So I could have easily abandoned, but I didn't. So that was pretty happy with that. Swimming, I'll need to focus on my swimming for sure. Technique. It's a technique sport. I just need to focus on that. So that'll be my main goal for this winter, will be to get just technique work as much as I can, video myself, and just work on that technique to be way more economical in the water. The biking, I think I need to be more specific in my biking. I do a lot of different things, which is good mentally. I do a lot of mountain biking, gravel, road, not enough TT. So for next year, whatever race I'll do, I definitely need to be way more specific and do a lot of time trial work and efforts at that. So simulate exactly race day strategies. And on the run is, again, work on technique, be more economical. I've got good speed. I just need to be more economical again. So working on run technique and efficiency. So economy, sorry. These are the three things I really need to work on. So fitness-wise, I think I'm there for a good time. I just need to keep on doing what I'm doing, but it's more about technique and specificity, which I really need to do if I want to go next level in my racing. So that's it, really. I just want to thank you all for following me, for sending me words of encouragement. It means a lot. I've had messages from the kids at my camps, or parents from the camps, kids from my academy, the athletics and the bike academy. I had messages from friends, from family, from athletes that I coach, you know, from local athletes here or people from abroad, from all around the world, and that just means the world to me. So thank you so much for supporting me on my journey. And it's not the end. I'm gonna keep on going, but it's just it makes me really, really happy and proud to have all this support. So thank you so much. Voila, so that's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If there's any comments, anything you'd like to hear about, any questions you have, or extra questions I might have on the World Championships, or how to train for an Ironman, I'm here for you. Just send me an email or look it up on Instagram or Facebook. And that's it. Thank you so much. And a big thank you to my family, my wife, my 2 kids, who literally carried me through the line this time. I love you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.